Hello guys, in this tutorial we'll look into operator overloading. I've copied the exact same class from the previous tutorial and I'll be working on the same class. First let's see what operator overloading actually is. Imagine I make two rectangles using the class that we made, rectangle A and rectangle B. And then I make a third class called rectangle C, and in the C class I want to be able to add a plus b. I want that the width would be added with the width of a's width is added with b's width, and a's length is added with b's length, and then it is stored in C. However, right now we cannot do that because there is no operation defined for this plus operator. We want to be able to overload this operator so we can do whatever we want to do with it. Now let's see how that works. Head back over to the class and head over to the public section. Remember, not the private section because we want to be able to use that plus sign in our main function and not just within the class. So head over to the public section, and over here the return type of the function would be the name of the class because we want to return a rectangle, and then write down operator and then the operator that you want to overload, which in our case is the plus operator. And then our parameters would be a constant rectangle object by reference, and name it anything that you want to. Let's call it parameter. You can name it whatever you like. Okay, now what do you want your plus operator to do? You want to be able to add the width with wait, sorry. First create a new rectangle type object over here. Temp, let's call it temp because it's just temporary and it won't last. It will be finished as soon as the function ends. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to be able to add A's and B's width, right? So in temp's width, we will be storing the rectangle, sorry, parameter width and the width of this object itself. And similarly, temp dot height would be equal to parameters height plus the height of the object itself. Okay, now we can simply return our temp. Sorry, this should be return and not return. Okay, this seems good. Now let's see if our overloading has worked or not. This isn't giving an error, but let's just initialize with this with 3 and 5, and let's initialize this with 2 and 7. Now our output for rectangle C should be 5 and 12. However, to output this we need some getter functions which help us access the width and the height. So over here you would need to create a get width function which simply returns the width, and the get height function which returns the height. Alright, now let's just execute this first and then we'll see how or what is the logic behind all of this. Okay, so first I'll be displaying for rectangle A, and the first in rectangle A, let's just display the height, a dot get height, and I should display the width first though. Width, get width, and then do the exact same thing for the height. Get height. Right now, I'll do the same thing for rectangle B. I'll just copy paste this, replace this with B, and replace this with B as well. B dot get width and B dot get height. Now the last thing would be to do the exact same thing for rectangle C. Rectangle C, C dot get width and C dot get height. Let me just run this now. Now let's see, our compiler is currently compiling our code, and as you can see in our code we specified A's width equals 3, which is correct. B's width equals 2, which is also correct. A's height equals 5 and B's height equals 7. But for rectangle C, we wanted to add the 2. And to do that, we overloaded our plus operator. And now we have the correct result. Now let's see how this works. This is like a normal function. However, you could call this is a function, right? The operator plus function. Where is it? This. You could call this function as well. You could do C dot operator plus, no, sorry, we're calling the function on A. All right. So we could do A dot operator plus, and its parameter would be B, which is another rectangle object. Okay, so this is the exact same thing as C is equal to A plus B. Now what happens is the thing which is after the plus sign becomes the parameter for this. Now, this is slightly trickier than the rest of the stuff that we studied so far, so I recommend that you watch this tutorial a couple of times, and there are some great resources available online in case you're still confused. A very good website would be cplus.com. I'd recommend that you look into it. And that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.